I got you, babe.
The views and opinions of the following show do not reflect those of WSMN, its owners, and/or associates.
Lisa and Robin are two fun friends diving deep into conversations where nothing is taboo. They believe in eating dessert before dinner and wearing the bikini. They're allergic to labels, authority, and cheap shoes. Currently, they're launching themselves through life being the good time, bold enough to take risks and inquisitively asking, what's next? They hail from New Hampshire, but they could be anywhere dressed in cute clothes. If they had to share a tombstone, it would read, "Curiosity killed these cats." Your hosts, Lisa and Robin, on the mic.
Gotta get it off my Google Drive. Look here. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to... You're listening to Lisa and Robin at WSMN 1590, 95.3 FM. You can watch, stream, listen on YouTube, Spotify, our Heart Radio, any podcast app you've got, and you can listen to us live. This morning, I'm flying solo for a little while. My co-pilot is en route. We had a little miscommunication snafu this morning, but we have a very special guest in the studio with us this morning. His name is Jason Azzi, and he owns Solar by Jazzi. Welcome. How are you?
Good.
So glad you could come.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So tell us, where is your company located?
So it's located at 182 Main Street, Suite 6 in Salem, New Hampshire, so we're fairly local. We service 23 states, and right now mostly focused in New England.
Wow, 23 states.
Yes, it's
so,
tough.
So do you have satellite offices, or do you have somebody that actually is from your company that flies down to service these?
So it depends on the account. So I'm working on one of the accounts in Maryland and Connecticut. So in Maryland, we would get the account set up, and I would fly down there on the install day to make sure that the job is done right. Also in Connecticut, I mean, it's a day trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. But I also have accounts in Florida too, so I would fly out there for the install day and fly back.
Wow. So do you have the products, do you have the materials, the equipment shipped there?
The company. I'm just a salesperson, so they have the warehouses, they do all the installations and everything else like that. My job is just to find honest accounts that qualify for the program.
Wow. So how did you get into this? How many years have you been in business?
Coming up on almost 4 years in business.
Wow.
So fairly new, but at the right time, at the right place, so it kind of works out.
So how did you get started in solar?
One of my best friends actually took me out golfing and asked me if I wanted to golf. And I thought the other partner was his golf buddy, and he's like, no, that's my customer. I'm like, customer of what? He's like, I installed solar in his house. I'm like, okay. So we're golfing with your customer. He's like, yeah. And you're still friends? Yeah. I'm like, all right. So, you know, how much money is in it? And then he showed me the paycheck. I was like, all right, I haven't been working for 2 years. I used to work for Oracle for 4.5 years for, software company. And then after that, when he showed me his paycheck, I was like, all right, I'm in.
Wow. So did you guys start working together, or did you start out solo right from the get-go?
No, so he was my mentor. So we started working together. We started knocking doors in the beginning because that's how you start, introducing yourself to the neighborhood. The first territory that they gave me was all the way in Pepperell, and nobody knows me in Pepperell. And then after that, I decided to just work in my backyard where everybody knows me.
Hey, sometimes that's the best, right?
Yeah, but and sometimes I don't want to be hiding from people, so
that's true too.
You bump into a lot of people that I'm like, oh shit.
So tell us. So just give everybody a little bit of education about solar.
Yeah, so I didn't know anything about solar before I got into this company. So I self-educated myself. I went into the warehouses. I found out what we had for products. Found out what the installer's opinion was on this. Showed up to every install site, every single home inspection. So I educated myself to do multiple different jobs all at once. And then when I knew how to do all the jobs, then I can explain it to the customer a lot better from an educated perspective.
Right.
And then, honestly, like people buy products from people, and, the product works. And when I learned that, I'm from Lebanon. So I'm Lebanese, and then you see all this like war that's in Gaza and all that stuff
in
third world countries. They don't have a network. They don't have Eversource. They don't have Unitel. They don't have National Grid.
No.
They don't have any of this stuff. So they're all running it off of solar. So obviously the product works. If third world countries are using it, why can't we?
So have you ever thought about doing solar like overseas?
I've had so many people from the Dominican Republic just ask me to ship solar panels to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
I just don't have the capacity to do it at this point. I'm grateful for everyone, asking for my business.
But even if you think about Aruba, it's still like a wealthier, Caribbean island.
Absolutely.
It still there's a lot of places like when you rent Airbnbs, they don't have air conditioning, you don't have hot and cold water. Like they still have a lot of issues. Like you just have one temperature of water for your shower. I mean, thank goodness it's hot enough and it's not ever ice cold. It's not like New England spring water.
Oh, no, it's never like this. Try to go into Hampton Beach and be like, okay, this is the Bahamas. No,
yes. Yeah, in our shower water. We have well water and it gets ice cold. So
yeah. No, third world countries, they do it. They need it. They use it for natural disasters. When the hurricanes come in, like even Texas, they have backup battery storages and multiple different solutions.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is right now is this solution. You've heard about the big beautiful bill that's been passed.
Yes.
So it's beautiful on certain pieces, and that's why him and Elon Musk got into fight.
How does that affect you, though? How does that affect you?
It affects us a lot. So we have deadlines. We thought that we could be in business from till 2035. It looks like till 2027 is probably the deadline. Most of the people, if they want to buy the solar panels this year, they have the deadline till the end of this year. So it kind of crunches it, and this is kind of why.
So break it down. Yeah. What does that mean for you guys? Why you're like no longer have a business of solar after 2027?
So it's tough to say because they're taking away the tax credit benefits. So, for example, you'll get the solar at no upfront cost because of the tax credit benefits. The companies are taking them. Because not everybody goes to Encore and wins $50,000 and is like, yo, I'm going to buy solar. It doesn't happen that way. So literally, some people are fortunate to have the money to put up front. And if they don't, then the company absorbs that upfront cost. And then they take the tax credit benefits. But if the government is taking those tax credit benefits away, it's going to make it very difficult for us to do no upfront costs for customers. Because we also assist customers with... if there's a tree in the way, we'll take it down. We'll pay for it.
Wow.
Based upon, the tax credit benefits. If you need a new roof, if we can cover for the full amount, we will. We'll give you a new roof in order for us to put the panels on for free.
Wow, I've never heard that done before.
Yeah.
Like, is that something that's standard? Because I wouldn't be
it's
like
not
people
usually
like,
standard.
Fix your roof and then we'll come back.
Usually that's what it is, but if we come and inspect the house and the roof needs to be fixing and we're going to warranty the whole system for 25 years, then we need to have some good product under it.
Yeah, you got to have a good foundation.
A good foundation.
Just like with anything.
That is correct.
Relationships,
yeah.
Life.
We'll get into that later. Just kidding.
We do therapy here. We do our own counseling.
I got to come on a different day then.
It's like I wasn't prepared to be emotional about that. So how did you get your start? Was it how many employees do you guys have?
So right now, I have 3 or 4 employees. I got my marketing team that runs my marketing. I get the AI, the website team, because we do have a website at solarbyjazzi.com. So it was kind of tough because it's like a do-it-yourself in the beginning and get your name out there. So most of the salespeople just focus on one city and one area and try to conquer those streets up and down. But I have a lot of relationships throughout all of New England. So everyone is like, dude, since you're in this business, I trust you.
Yeah.
I want you to do my house. I've had so many people knock on my door. I don't trust anyone. And like after all these years, people are just, I consider it, there's a lot of uneducated consumers, but I consider it even more self-educated consumers. Because this is a liquid fluid changing organization. So it changes on a daily basis. And if they're not up to base with what's going on, then they kind of miss out on the boat.
Yeah. So you have an opportunity right now. So educate me as if I know nothing about solar and, our audience. Because I think a lot of people think, it's solar power, but what does it affect? as far as your electricity bill, like what can you use as far, obviously it will, fuel.
Yeah.
Can you do it for heat as well?
Yeah, so that's a great
pretend I'm a new
question.
customer. I'm a new customer and I'm interested in solar. And tell me, what are the benefits of going solar?
Okay, that's a great question. And I'm glad that you asked it that way, because most consumers are the same way as when I got into this business from the beginning. I didn't know how big is the size of a solar panel? How much does it weigh? What happens if I move? And all these different hard questions that homeowners have questions. And so the first step is we actually take a look at your electric bill and take a look at it and to find out how much you're using electricity. That gives us a guide on the bill, no matter whatever it is. Unitel, Eversource, National Grid. We take a look at the graph or a bill. Either side of it tells us what you've used for electricity in the last year. And then based upon that, we design a system for your house to cover all of your electricity usage.
Nice.
If we can. If you need more, we oversize it. Let's assume that you want a hot tub or a swimming pool, or you're going to get an EV car. So we oversize it for the system size for whatever your usage is. So what happens is that there's a process that comes that the company comes, inspects your house, makes sure the electrical panel is up to date, your roof is up to date, there's no trees, that are blocking the sun on your roof. And then if your house qualifies, then what you do is that you get a qualification, then we submit permits, building permits, electrical permits, to make sure the city knows what we're doing with your house, that they agree with the design. If any designs need to be changed, then we do it ourselves. And then basically, instead of you paying National Grid $300-400 a month, you end up paying us like $250. So there's a couple of ways of doing it. There's a lease, that's what's called power purchase agreement. You agree to purchase the power from the company. We give you the equipment for no charge, and then we warranty the equipment. And then after 25 years, we take them off because they're old, and then you can decide whether you want new equipment or you can just buy
So you
them
could just
out.
replace it and just
Yeah.
keep rolling with your. Do you ever do like the standalone panels? Like
Yes.
instead of, do they have to be on the roof or?
That's a great question. A lot of my customers, their number one complaints is I don't like the look of them. I hate them. They're disgusting.
I don't really.
I mean, to be honest with
It's
you,
better than those old satellite dishes that used to be like
they still love it.
those big moon-sized things that used
Yeah.
to stand in your yard, and even the little ones when they switch. But I don't even know.
I mean, some people consider it as an eyesore, but as people, it's kind of like I want to call it the Jones effect. My
Well, I feel
customer
like
got
people
it.
that
Now I
complain
got
about
it.
that doesn't look good, but they have no landscaping in their yard. And then they're like, "Oh, that's an eyesore." But I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
your
like everything's
yard is
fine.
an eyesore, but no, we won't talk about that."
I like to take pride in the way that it looks. I sit there and I design it myself over and over again. Obviously, let me look at my outfit. I like try to match.
I love it.
I try to match all the time. So like when it comes to a design, it has to look good. It has to function good. And the promise that we gave you has to come through. So the great thing is that there's new technology. People are asking me, what about windmills? What about hydro? And then why are we using solar up here in New England when we don't get that much sun?
That is a good question, because what do you do in the winter? We have like a gray, 6 months of gray.
Yeah, there's snow on it. You're not collecting sun.
So does it affect like how much it does? Maybe that's a stupid question, but how much, if it's on a cloudy day or you've got a span of, you've got a month of cloudy, so you've got January.
Yep.
Does it not kick in at all, or is it still?
It does produce. So it does produce. It doesn't produce at full capacity, but it still does produce. Even if it had a coating of, fluffy snow on the top, it still produces, but it won't produce as much. Obviously, you're not going to get as much, even on a cloudy day. But what we do is, I'll show you. We have an application that actually shows you what the production is. And it shows you live production. It shows you how much you've made the last week, the last day, on the cloudy day, on not a cloudy day, the last year. It will actually show you where we predicted how much electricity you can actually get out of these solar panels and how much electricity you're getting. So we give you a lot of, information for the homeowner to find out where do we stand and what we promised.
Yeah, if you have a little video, we can send it. We'll upload it to our page when we're done, we'll upload it to our page too. So, because I think that's, education is important. So do you still have to have like your Eversource bill, or do you still have to have a contract with the electric company?
Yeah, so that's a good question. It's actually a great question because every house is like, it depends on how much roof space that we have. I'll give you an example. I had a customer 2 weeks ago. I installed him at doing 70 panels on his house.
70 panels?
70.
How big are the panels?
They're about 4x3s.
Oh.
I actually have a picture of one of my customers holding it up on top of his head. That's how light they are now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
are they thin?
very thin, wafer thin. Yep.
Wow.
The only thing that weighs them down is the metal brackets that are around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it determines, obviously, you'd want to put it on the sunniest side of the roof.
That's correct. Yeah. So for solar, you got the south side, the east side, and the west side. The north side doesn't get any sun.
Yeah.
So on the back side of the roof, we usually, wherever the sun hits, that's the most beneficial for it. And then what's cool is that I didn't even know about this because a couple of this my second installation, when I first installed it, I show up to all my installs to make sure everything's going good. I saw the guy just jumping up on them. He's walking on them. And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, you can do that? He's like, yeah.
Oh.
That's how durable they are nowadays.
Wow. So do they actually heat up a little bit? Like, so in the winter you do say, because we've had some heavy snowfalls that stay on the roof. So do they heat up to kind of help melt it?
Yeah, so that's a great, you got the nail on the head. What happens is that because there are black panels on it, when the sun heats up the panels, all of the snow just comes sliding down. It's just a sheet of snow that just comes sliding down. Yeah, it kind of cleans the panels too on the way down.
It's a good way to not build up snow on your roof too. So, do you guys have an electrician that you work with, or do you actually have an electrician on your team, or do you have to like subcontract?
So the electricians have to be. We only work with licensed electricians. They have to get permits. We do subcontracting electricians, but
and they have to have their workers' comp.
They have to have their workers' comp. They have to have everything, man. Because if they go on the roof and something happens, I do my best to just stay on the ground. It's not my job. You can't pay me enough sometimes on how high those roofs are. 34-foot roofs on Salisbury, Mass. When the wind is blowing like 40, 50 miles an hour, and I'm seeing the panels like fly left and right while they're trying to drag them.
So, do you guys have a tether or something when you guys go up, or do you guys put scaffolding up in, to give yourself how do you anchor yourself? Because I don't want to walk on a roof.
Yeah, so I don't go on the roof. The installers go on the roof. So they have to be all OSHA compliant. So everything that OSHA requires, hard helmets, being tied to the roof. It's funny that you say that because yesterday I actually had an installation in Tewksbury. And the installer was on the roof pulling up the panels. And then he tells me, he's like, bro, can you give me some... was it bee spray? I'm like, why? He's like, there's a bee nest up here. I've been stung 4 times.
Oh my gosh!
I went to Home Depot, got bee spray. I'm like, go spray them down. You never know what you're gonna get.
Oh my gosh! Well, right now we have this tree in our yard that has all these little tiny white flowers. You can go outside and you can hear the buzz. There's so many bees, and so we have a pool. And because it's been so humid, I've been topping off the pool water every day. But you literally can't walk. There must be 50 bees on the ground. So I have to go get my leaf blower and blow. But that tree kind of it's so close to our roof. But you look up there and you can actually just see all that movement in there. And I'm like, I'm done because it looks like it snows every morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bees would not, that you get into a hornet, you stir those up. Man, you could be, don't have an allergy.
So it's funny because some of the trees that we need to take down, the homeowners say no. You can't take this tree down. I'm like, why? Oh, my great-grandfather planted this.
Oh.
Then it's not going to work.
So do you trim it, or do you just, is it a no-go?
You could trim it, but sometimes it's just a no-go. Sometimes trees are in wetlands. We can't touch those. Those are a $10,000 fine with a 5-year jail imprisonment. I'm not doing that to taking the tree down. And then we got to replace 10 trees after that. So I'm like, no.
So what about if somebody really wants it and they can't use their roof? Can you do the standalones, or like why do they do the standalones? Because you've seen like those fields of them, or you've seen we haven't. I don't remember if it's in Hollis or somewhere that they've got some standalones like all lined up. Like, so what's the?
Yeah, so those are considered solar fields. So if, for example, I live in a condo, I can't put solar panels on my condo. You know, there's no choice. I can buy my electricity from a solar field. But if somebody, so solar panels are actually designed to go on your roof because the higher the panels are, the more sun that they actually produce.
Right.
So if you put them on the ground, it's the same panel can be producing like 600 kilowatts.
Yeah.
You go throw it on the roof on the south side, it's 1,500 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Now I'm only using one panel to produce as much as 3 on the ground. So it's less equipment, it's cheaper to put it up. And then on top of it, it's like a screen protector on your phone for your roof.
Yeah.
So all the snow, all that gunk and all that stuff that goes on your roof, it just slides right off so the shingles stay good. And it actually keeps your roof cooler during the summer time. So if you go up in your attic and you can't breathe, it actually takes all the heat away from that.
Really?
Yeah.
So does it actually draw from the heat, or is it just for sunlight?
It's just, it'll just protect it from all of the sun beaming off of the roof. It will just beam onto the
protecting
panels.
the roof so it
That's
doesn't
correct.
trap the heat in
So
there.
they're made to go on the roof. But if for some reason, you know, I can only fit 10 panels on your roof and you need 40, where do I put the other ones? So we'll put them on the ground. You can put them on the ground if you have enough room.
Yeah.
And then we'll just trench and connect the electricity from those to your electric meter and your panel, and then we'll run it off of that.
Well, so how do you, like, so you said if you live in a condo, how do you, and you could purchase solar electricity from a condo if you have a solar field nearby?
Yeah.
Does it have to be within a certain radius?
So,
And how does that work? Like, if the solar panels are like 5 miles away or 2 miles away and you're here, how do you purchase that? Like,
yeah, so it's shipped through substations. So they have main stations and substations. Usually the substation has to be around. Hi, how's it going? Usually the substations have to usually be a certain, it depends on the city and state, a certain, you know, length away. So it depends on it. But for the most part, they're available almost everywhere now.
and so these substations, so tell me, what does that mean?
So I'll give you, for example, do you know the Tuscan Village up in
Yes.
Salem?
Yeah.
Okay, so in order for them to build that whole village, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm trying to think because I know Joe Farrell. I know all the boys. Like, I'm friends with them, but
Joey.
I don't get, man, my whole business is down in Salem.
Well, but like,
So usually, so what happens? So what happens is that how do you get electricity to a building far, far away? So Liberty ended up building a substation, which is a power station on site. Instead of them shipping the electricity from everywhere, they ship it to a station right there, and they have their own electrical station that will, you know, power the whole Tuscan Village.
and so how does that work? The substation, like, because you think about electricity, it's all wires.
Yeah. So let's go back
Okay.
a little bit. Electricity is usually produced either by natural gas or, you know, oil or other form of source. So that's produced, let's say, in a chemical form. Chemical form needs to be changed into a useful form, just like oil, right?
Yep.
You can't use it right away for gas. You have to take the kerosene out of it, take, you know, whatever chemicals are out of it, and just leave it pure. You know, take the petrol out of it. Same thing is with electricity. You got to make it purified, and then after you purify it, you just create electricity with it. And these big companies create electricity from it. From that, it gets sent out to a different company that delivers it to your house. Wow. And then how does that
Did
get
not know
delivered to
that.
your house? It has to get delivered to a substation because these are high tension power wires. So if you have 200 amps coming into your house and you only have a 100 amp toaster, it's going to fry it. Wow. So they have to
Step
you
it
know,
down.
Yeah, control the electricity and step it down for homeowners and consumers and everybody else to be able to use it. So after it goes through the substation, it goes into the power lines, high tension power lines. High tension power lines, if you want to look right behind you, those are what are called transformers. They're like kegs.
Oh, yeah.
Right on the transformer.
Those little silver bucket things?
Yep, those silver buckets. That's what blows during the winter time. When the tree hits the
So when
cable,
there's power outages and
that's
if
where
you
the
have
power
solar,
outages come from.
Yeah.
So if you have power outages, and does it affect when if you have solar?
If you have a backup battery, you're running off of the backup battery. Depends on what. I mean, usually the Tesla Powerwall 3 will probably give you about 2 days about backup battery. If you put 2 batteries, then you're looking at 4 days. Depends on what you back up. Most people back up the refrigerator, the kitchen appliances, the stuff. You're not going to be washing clothes in a power outage. You're not going to be running the pool. Or maybe you'll be in the jacuzzi. I don't know. You know?
He doesn't know us so well.
I'm just new to the show. I don't know.
The first year we moved into our welcome, Lisa.
Thank you so
Hi,
much.
Lisa.
We
Hi,
did have
thank
a little.
you.
I owned my little snafu. I was like, I thought we were doing a photo shoot. My bad. I didn't realize you needed a ride.
That's what happens when you speak into the text message
Oh.
and it changes things for you, but you don't have your glasses, so you don't read it. And you get an affirmative answer, so you're like, okay, we're all good.
Well, we had just talked about it, doing a photo for her, and then the next message was "Get beautiful," and I was like,
It should have been, hey, beautiful.
I was like, all right, we're doing this.
And she's over here looking in the mirror getting beautiful.
And she's always
Actually, I
beautiful.
didn't
yes.
because I was like, I was trying to curl my hair, and that was a disaster. So I was like, and I kept thinking like, okay, leave by 9:10, and I was like, man, we're early.
Yeah, no, not if you pick me up.
Well, that's what you get when you get 2 blondes.
And that's what you get with text message too. I will say, like I said, I don't have my glasses on. I'm speak texting. It thinks I'm some other language. It can't quite understand my, I don't know why pick whatever BP I see.
So I was, we were just telling him, but we just have you been listening to our fasting conversation?
Yes.
Actually?
So
Oh.
I actually had solar at my house at one time, and I was a big proponent for solar because it felt like it's got to be clean, but I don't know anything about the technology, but it seemed better than wind. And the technology's been around since before the 70s, and then the oil companies bought it out in the 70s because it was competition, I think. And then so I feel like I know a little bit about solar, and what, we were talking about, what is happening to your business. And I think we kind of talked about the fact that, as things change, if it's not affordable, more people won't do it. So one of the things that we talk about all the time is, do people care about climate change? Why don't people, there's a movie star on the top of a mountain looking at this beautiful vista, and he says, why don't people care about this? And the answer is because they can't afford their kids' insulin, or they can't afford their parents' nursing home visits. So the planet's the last thing on their mind, right?
Yeah.
If you can make it affordable, if you can make those alternative sources affordable, or you make it easier, or you make it big enough that the economies of scale drive it down, then you have another option. So I feel like I know just enough about
Well, he
solar
was
to be
talking a little
dangerous.
bit about the tax credits.
Yes.
That 2020.
Yeah, so
Seven?
that's what makes it affordable now. Before, it didn't used to be affordable. And you know what? Believe it or not, I'm glad that you tapped on that, because before, they used to always think, like, before there was higher tax credit benefits and higher incentives. So what they used to do is they used to install as many panels they did on your house, whether you use the panels or not. Whatever you produced over whatever you used, you got to check for it.
Oh.
They
Yeah.
just bought the electricity back from you. You got to check for it.
Yeah.
And then
one
those-
of the things I found fascinating about that is, why doesn't the electric company want that?
Yeah, so here's the thing. So before, when consumers were getting checks, there was only, so when they passed government legislations and all that stuff, $500 million bill. Okay, but when that bill goes away, those credits go away too. And that's literally what's happening. So the first phase, when they was giving out people money, they were actually getting tax credit benefits. Right now, if you overproduce than what you use, you actually get a credit benefit, a credit on your National Grid bill or your Unitel bill. So they're buying it back, and they're able to buy it back from you dollar for dollar. Now, whatever happens in California happens in pretty much Massachusetts, and it reflects other states on the East Coast.
So those crazy people over there are making decisions for us over here, which is
Right.
not necessary.
Well, this is literally
Right.
when they're forcing people to do batteries, and they have rolling blackouts there, is because they're forced everyone to go with EV cars, and the grid just can't hold it.
and so I
Right.
think we should look at that and say, what are they doing wrong? Can we bring that over here?
Right.
Yeah.
Sign us up too, please.
So like we were saying, the only reason why solar makes sense in Massachusetts, in New Hampshire, is because in Massachusetts they're charging around 46 cents a kilowatt. Depends on the city and state. Some of them are 32, 36, whatever, for supply and delivery.
Oh, I wish I had looked at my bill because our bill was 500 and something this month. Like,
I know. I
There's
see
a
it
lot of
every
other
day.
charges that
yes,
And those, I wish I brought a bill with me too.
the delivery
Because
charges
they
was,
put so much junk in there.
yeah.
You're already paying for solar. There's a solar delivery. There's a solar charge. There's an EV charge. You're paying for solar and EV whether you like it or not, and if you have it or not.
Oh, even we do too.
Yeah, you're paying for a distribution charge. What the hell is that? So let me ask you this: if you order a piece of pizza, because most of our electricity is being delivered from upstate New York and Canada and Maryland, we're not producing any electricity here. So if you were to buy a piece of pizza from upstate New York, how much would it cost you to deliver it to your house?
$500, $1,000. Is it coming on train? Is it
But
coming
how
on
much is
plane?
a slice of pizza?
Overnight.
It
But-
should be
Probably
$1.25, but it's
Okay,
like
but how much are you paying for the delivery? So literally, this is what the
Yeah.
utility companies are doing. They're charging you for supply, which those suppliers are the ones that are changing all of, making it into usable electricity, and then they take it from one place and ship it to you.
Yeah, the surcharges are if you always look, the surcharges are more than my actual usage.
That's correct. So by doing solar, if you produce your own electricity, how much does it cost you to deliver it to yourself?
How much do you think? How much does an electricity bill? How much does a solar change your electricity bill?
So
Like if you went full out and got as many panels for like a whole house thing.
So I'm gonna give you an example. Some houses I'm able to save them 30% on their electrical bill. Some houses I had a customer that used to pay $1,600. Now he pays $400 a month.
Wow.
He has a swimming pool. He has heat on electricity. Everything runs off of electricity. So now he only pays $400 a month.
All right, so I have
instead
a
of
question. If you
$1,600.
want to use a solar panel to heat a pool, how many panels is that?
So technically, you can't use solar panels to heat a pool because that's considered a luxury item.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, there's ways around it. But
But we can't talk about them on the radio. You'll have to call directly.
yeah, call directly.
We're gonna have a chat after this.
So yeah, so you can. So I have a lot of people that they just add more panels just to either heat the pool or because the biggest push was the problem is that there was a government push for all EV. And they promised everyone that you're going to get all this money by this time, and if you get this amount of money, and then now they're pulling it away, and we're still even just opening up 900 pages of paperwork to find out
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
what does even the bill say?
what does even the bill say.
So,
Right.
But it doesn't affect commercial solar by any chance. It only affects residential.
really?
Yeah.
Why? Well,
I'm still reading the 900
Right.
pages.
So, I hear this argument all the time. So climate change is such a hot topic. And, everything gets passed with the, reduce carbon emissions, reduce carbon emissions,
Yeah.
reduce carbon emissions. And when we have the situation where, so this is a solution. A is a solution to B, but it forgot about C through Z. Like when they say there'll be no gas appliances in Massachusetts, so you can't heat your stove. Okay, someone pat themselves on the back in the State House. I'm changing climate, right? With this big, huge, but you can tell I'm really sarcastically not impressed by that. And have you ever done anything that requires a change? How do 7 million people change all of their stoves? Where's the supply? How do they change all of their gas? Where are all the electricians? Where are all these companies? Who's trained?
Very good question.
Right? So where are all these, you make this rule and then the rule is useless if it can't be followed.
Yeah, 100%. And the problem is that so the benefits of solar is reducing stress on the grid, right?
Yes.
We're producing our own electricity. We're not buying it from EverSource for 46 cents anymore. We're not,
It
buying
doesn't
it
have
on
to be
prices.
delivered outside
Doesn't have
of
to
the
be
country.
delivered outside the country. And literally, the whole plan was from the beginning is for us to be energy efficient. energy independent. We're not buying our stuff every time a war happens overseas.
Right.
You see the gas prices go up to $4 or $5,
Mm-hmm.
and then when there's no war down, and now it's down to $2.30. We don't want to play those games anymore.
Well, that and election.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always that. But to your point, like sometimes I ask my customers, why do you want to go solar? Is it for the savings? Is it for saving the environment? Is it for, what is it? The carbon footprint, whatnot. Most people just say, I just want to save money.
Yeah. Which is a
They don't
perfectly good
care about
answer.
that.
Yes.
I just want to save money, and it has nothing to do with saving the trees. Although the application will show, be like, yo, just because you went solar, you just saved 268 trees, X amount of that. Look at it.
Yeah.
Although that's what the whole point of it was, to remove
Well, the
the
Green
carbon
Deal,
emission.
the new Green Deal was for
Well, I
that.
feel like it's a benefit, but most people want to save money.
Well,
and
how does
it
the
has a
benefit be-
residual impact down the road for our environment. But
Yeah.
most people aren't going to, commit to be like, I'm gonna go all in on this.
So if you actually look at some of the highways actually in Europe, and do you remember the cars that that the kids used to play? If you put the car on the track and you hold the remote control, as long as those things are on track, that
Yeah.
thing goes
Yeah,
around, around,
sometimes
around,
they'd
around.
spark.
Yeah, and sometimes it spark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it spark. So the cool thing is there's highways in Europe, and on the guardrails there are actually solar panels. So those solar panels actually generate electricity, and the electricity goes under the highway. And as
Wow.
you're driving, it charges your car. Like, where's the technology here?
Holy cow, that's amazing.
It's the same concept.
I'm today years
You know
old.
what I mean?
I didn't know
Yeah,
they
it's
did
the
that.
same
But
concept.
that makes sense. But I still don't.
Well, that's
I
because-
don't want an electric vehicle. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's
We've
fine.
we have rented 2 Teslas, and one time when we didn't realize when you had to go charge it. So it was late. We were heading to the airport, and we had 2-hour drive. We were in Virginia, so it's 2-lane divided highway, and there's nothing but farmland.
Yep.
And we set GPS to go from Lynchburg to Richmond.
Yeah.
I think. We ended up, GPS rerouted us 28 miles out of the way for the nearest charging
Charger.
station. And
Did
I'm
you
like,
have
we didn't
28 on
realize
it?
it because, we just said it. You just said it, and we're talking, we're listening to an audio. And next thing you know, he's like, where the hell are we? And like, we're 28 miles in the wrong direction
direction.
because it had to charge us. And like, our car took us there. Like, I don't want my car to control me.
Yeah, so
And then you can't find the windshield wipers. You got to use like a keypad. It's like a computer screen that comes up, and you've got to like push all these buttons. I'm like,
Well, it's always the cart before the horse. And someone, I heard this, and I can't remember. He's a CEO of a company. He said we will never go fully EV until the car is charged in the same amount of time it takes to fill up a gas tank.
that's
People
exactly. So
can't.
they're doing
Yeah.
research on it. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. And the reason why I say that is like ExxonMobil and Chevron have been doing studies because they know that. I mean, the only reason why not like EV and all the infrastructures here because obviously there's money in the game. They're not just going to eliminate it. But to your point, how long does it take you to go from 0 to hero on a gas station?
You mean how many gallons
Like,
of gas?
how much time? Like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes? Have you ever timed it?
Well,
I'm
to
a
put
for-
gas in my
yeah.
tank, it takes under a minute.
no, to fill up that big
No, to fill
diesel.
it
No.
Oh, to fill
To
up.
fill it
Oh,
up,
sorry,
to fill it
sorry.
up, yeah,
yeah.
from 0 to hero, from like empty all the way up to full. How long do you have to sit at the
Mine
gas
probably
station?
takes like 3 minutes. I only have like a little 14-gallon tank.
Okay, so I was timing like sometimes it depends on the pump. Some pumps
Yeah.
are faster than others.
So in the
That's true.
diesel, you
You
can
know?
get those big pumps on the diesel, actually.
Yeah. So I was like looking. I'm like, it takes me about sometimes 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. I don't know. But so Chevron and ExxonMobil are timing. They're making EV chargers. They're making EV chargers because they know that they're
Yeah.
gonna. That's it. That business
Well,
is dead.
but
But they have to
that's
time
growth.
it, and it has to hit it at the 5 or
Yes.
7 minute mark to go from empty and to 80% charge.
Yeah.
They have to hit it at that mark. So they're doing the research and development of it.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that was interesting. I heard that point, and I'm like, that's a really good point because we have to really change. I'm not getting gas on the way to work, right? I'm not
Right.
charging my car before work.
I-
I have to always make sure,
And you know what? I just want to mention one thing about the EV cars. I'm sorry, you said it. You said it. You put the horse before the cart. Most people I see, they go buy an EV car. they don't have an EV charger at their house.
No, they don't.
Why don't you install an EV charger at your house? Get
Before you
solar
get a
and charge
car.
it for the whole
Right.
thing.
So how
you
much
know,
is
you're
that?
doing
How
it
much do you think that
backwards.
is?
We
'Cause
are
I
doing
was-
it backwards because
doing it
people
backwards.
hear something and they're like, oh, and they're not process people. So building houses,
That's
renovating
corporate.
houses, we don't put down carpet before we take apart the walls,
Mm.
right? You don't take some stuff
Well,
down.
it's the same theory
It's
that I think
process.
that you should load the plane from back to
To
front.
Yes.
100%.
Come on.
Come on,
No, they load it in
people.
the middle. Whoever wants, whoever that.
I know it's like you're Group A, and I'm like, okay, well, Group A's here, there, and everywhere, and I'm like, and then you got to stand there and wait for everybody to put their luggage up. Like you load it from the back to the front. That just
Again,
makes so much sense.
So that's so perfect because here we are doing something wrong because we've been doing it wrong forever.
yes,
And again, when you come to this, there's going to be no gas appliances in Massachusetts by 2030. If we started today, there's not enough electricians. There's not. Do you know how much money it costs to take a house off gas into electric?
I'm fully aware. I'm in a lot of houses, but
Right?
it's
Oh,
gonna
I don't
cost a
ever
So
wanna-
lot.
one of the things is I used to rent apartment
Yeah.
buildings, and people used to say, "Oh, well, I'm going to add bedrooms, but I can't add any more heat, so I'm going to put electric in there." Electric was so much more expensive to heat than gas.
100%.
It's
Have they
always
done
been.
any studies on it?
So-
Because you just have to ask about 12 tenants in this building.
Yeah.
Hey, do you like? No, I'm probably going to move because my heating bill would be $200 a month in the winter, but it's $700 a month in the winter.
right.
Yeah.
You know.
So here's the thing. Like, here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
Every house that's being built in Massachusetts since I believe the beginning of this year, if not last year, has to be pre-wired for solar. And
Hey.
and if you have 2 garages, one of them has to be EV. If you have 3 garages, 2 of them have to be EV.
Why two? Why can't you
Because
just-
they're not
yes,
allowing
you're
gas
forcing-
vehicles after a
it's
certain
a build
years.
mandate. It's a build mandate. But although Donald Trump took that mandate out for the gas vehicles, we still have time to do it. But in Salem, New Hampshire, there's a flea market over there across from the flea market. There's a bus station, not a bus station, but a school bus. Like this is where all the school buses park and whatnot. They ripped all those buses and made them EV, which is fine. It's great. I know the owner for the flea market across. I told him, I was like, where do they think they're going to get all those electricity to power all of those school buses? Because the concept is that, you know, you have solar on your house, so it's cheaper electricity. You put the EV charger, you buy an EV car then, and then you plug in the car. Now we're buying the cars.
So
and
what,
now
do
we're
you
buying
think,
the
what
plugs
is
and
the
we're buying
cost
the
of
solar.
buying an EV charger for your house?
It's about like $2,000, give or
Oh,
take.
so it's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
No, it's about $2,000
No,
for a level
so
2.
how do
changing
people
a
do that?
changing a whole entire system of a house from.
Oh yeah, that's
is
a
a
different.
different
Yeah, you're
charge.
gonna have to take the furnace out. You're gonna have to take oil
You're
tanks.
gonna have to possibly
then
open walls.
What happens to like all the natural gas and stuff? They're just not gonna. We're not gonna use natural gas.
Well, not so. Massachusetts is one of the last states that still uses oil to heat their houses. Not really many states use oil. They've all moved to either natural gas or electricity or propane.
We use propane and
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah. And the thing is,
So
I'm
most of
not
it
saying
uses
that we
that.
don't need better solutions. Of course, we need better solutions. We are so smart as people when we want to be. You know, we can solve all kinds of problems if we spent less time on porn and more time
Oh,
in
man.
science class. I know. Poor Robin's like, why are we bringing that up?
Are you late for an appointment that we don't know
You're just
about?
taking all
What's
the fun out of it.
Taking all the fun out of it. So I'm sorry. No, but I was just joking because we had a different conversation about something else. But
I gotta you invite me to that one next
No,
time,
no.
not this one.
But you know, all jokes aside, what are we focusing on? What are some of the major problems in our society? How are we doing in the STEM, you know, science, technology, and all of that in the United States? Okay, so other countries have it better. Don't recreate the wheel. Go over to Germany. Go over to France. What are you doing with your? What are you doing? And again, there's a process to taking the roads that we have that were built when the Ford cars first came on the market and making them what Germany's Autobahn looks like, right? It's not going to be today. It's not going to be tomorrow. Is it something we should plan for our future?
I think we should
Yes.
be working
But even,
towards that.
But we should not be putting the cart before the horse. We should not be mandating things that you don't have a proper plan for the timing of, because now you're just undoing everything you did. And I think some of the problem comes from people who don't know anything about the topic are being led by lobbyists who are throwing money at them instead of what the actual solution would be for.
It's always money driven.
Right.
It's always money driven. No matter what it is.
So has your
But
company
why hasn't the
started
solar
looking-
company started bribing everyone?
But
like
have
the
you
other
guys
companies?
started looking
so I'll
at-
give you an example. Like so here's like this new great new bill, right? That's happening. So they taxed electricity that's coming from Canada about 25%, right? Coming in. Most of our products come from Europe and all that stuff. That's being taxed now. So we can't install solar, and they're increasing electricity on everybody else. You know, so it's a double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we help the consumer? And you're taking away our tax credit benefits off of it. So
Yeah.
how can we actually push this forward and help them move it? Because I'll tell you, there's so Elon Musk said that there is a place in Nevada, okay, in Nevada, in some desert. If you do a 30 mile by 30 mile radius of solar panels, it will generate enough electricity for the whole United States.
Wow.
There's also a place, I think it's a 100-mile radius in Africa. If they did a 100-mile radius, it can generate enough electricity for the whole world. For the whole world out of solar. So the technology works. Why are they holding it back? Because money.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people connected to the money, and they can't just rip it out and replace it.
Well, you know, I mean,
And it's not like a
But
full.
change,
It's
can't
not
they?
a full
It's true.
sale.
Yeah. And I just think like, well, we're going to have to change everything over. Be part of the companies that make the X to change it over. Be part of the companies, you know, and I guess that's just bullshit.
yeah. So we've got 4 minutes left, which
Yeah.
has gone by really fast.
Oh, sorry.
I have a question. No, I just I feel like we don't have enough time.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Has your company started looking at ways to do, like, can you do a solar EV for chargers for your garage? Have you guys started looking at expanding for if we go E EV?
So here's the thing that I think about EVs. You know, if you have an EV car, it becomes, I'm sorry to compare it because it's not even comparison, but to like a handicap sticker. You got first dibs. You got first parking. They've actually moved to handicap parking instead of
Yeah.
these people. Like, I'm going to get an EV car because it's like a handicap
Yeah.
sticker. Like, you could park like first. Some companies they're making it into like it's like an ATM machine. You could charge your EV car at your house from the solar panels for like 25 cents a kilowatt. If you go buy it outside, it's 36 cents a kilowatt. So people are now start to
Yeah.
make it a business.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
starting to be a business because, like the infrastructure, there's not enough infrastructure. I'll make fun of EV cars if you want. Remember the eclipse when everybody went up to Maine
Mm-hmm.
and the sun eclipsed
Yeah.
and they got stuck in traffic and they couldn't get back and they couldn't get back
Yes.
because Maine doesn't have any EVs. No, it doesn't in Vermont because they're no.
Oh, that's funny.
Right? They went
funny.
up, they got stuck in traffic, and yeah, when the sun eclipsed, they eclipsed it too.
Oh my gosh! Well, in my old neighborhood, they had one of those. What's that little tiny car that's like?
It's like a leaf or something.
It's a
yeah.
tin box, like it literally. And this lady used to drive it, but she would run out of power, like at least once or twice a month.
Yeah.
It right in front of our road, and she'd get out and she'd have to walk home, and she's like, "I'm so sorry."
I've never run out of gas. Became dangerously close in Florida, but I never ran out of gas. That's so good. So
good.
how do people find you if they want to find out more information about themselves, like for their...
Yeah, if you have any questions about solar, whether it's residential or commercial, solarbyjazzi.com, jasonazzi.com.
And it's Jazzi.
That's correct.
And I want to know why you didn't bring us one of those amazing T-shirts. I love that color.
Oh, I got to get you. These are all Lululemons, too.
Ooh.
Of course.
I got Nike ones, too.
Oh my
I want
god.
And,
Lululemon.
So what I do is like a fun thing that to separate me from any of the other solar guys that are in the area is everybody that installs solar with Solar by Jazzi, I buy Nikes for the whole household. Everyone that's living in the house.
Oh my
As a
gosh.
thank you for doing
How
business
awesome.
with me.
He's a retail man like ourselves. We love
Look,
clothes.
next
Gotta
time,
have
I
fashion.
promise,
I was
I-
like, I know he's all
I'll get
bleeded
it.
out. I was like, man, where can we get some of that?
Send me your size. I'll get
I
you
love
guys.
it. Extra small,
All right.
right there.
Write it down.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to remember when I go home.
I got so many people texting me their shoe sizes. I'm like, I got a shopping list to go through.
What is the most important thing a customer will need to ask a solar company before choosing a solar company?
Well, find out if they're publicly traded first of all. If the Sun, I also work for Sunrun, which is a publicly traded company. So they're the last standing company. That's a lot of companies have bellied up and whatnot. But find out if it's a publicly traded company, because if they are a publicly traded company, they are bound to rules and regulations through the FDIC and everything else. Just make sure that you're protected. Just find a company that
is insured and
someone that you trust. Find the salesperson that you trust, to be honest with you, and then they should be able to do their due diligence and break everything down for you.
So that they really understand
Yeah,
it.
so they really understand. And I promise you, there's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of unanswered questions. And whoever wants, have a conversation, I'll be more than happy to.
I'm pretty sure politicians don't listen to us because we're always bad mouthing.
You should have brought them in. We would have told them how it affects our business and affects 250,000 employees.
Right.
The people
what
that are
else do
taking
they
trees
need to
down,
know?
the electricians that are going, the roofers that are going. When they pulled the plug, they pulled the plug on the roofers, the tree people, the electricians that we have.
What do they need to
And
do
prices are going to
instead?
go through the roof for that.
Yeah. Well, right now, the electrical company is already raising their prices because now they have an advantage over us.
Right. Where are you going to go?
Well, I know, but
Yeah, where you going to go?
Yeah, for even heating and cooling, our air conditioner went out upstairs, or we were having some glitch with it. It's in the heat, the thick of it. It's 86 degrees upstairs. He's like, I can't get to you until the end of the month.
Yeah.
All right, so quick.
Thank you, Jason.
Tell us how to find you.
Oh, solarbyjazzy.com. You can also call 603-560-3999. I'm also located at 182 Main Street, Suite 6 in Salem, New Hampshire. I'm a local guy, so I'm
Thank
sure
you
you've
so
seen my
much.
lawn signs everywhere.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you.
Record high numbers following a report that showed inflation was worse off last month at the wholesale level than economists had expected. Traders second-guessing their widespread consensus that the Fed would cut interest rates at its meeting next month. Ahead of the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska tomorrow, Ukrainian President Zelensky has been meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer in London.
New details about what President Trump may offer Vladimir Putin to get him to stop the fighting in Ukraine. The British Daily Telegraph reports White House officials are working on a deal that would give Russia access to natural resources in Alaska in exchange for ending the war, along with the lifting of some sanctions on the Russian aviation industry, and providing access to rare earth minerals in Ukrainian territories currently under Russian occupation.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio, Israel's far-right finance minister, announcing approval of a contentious new settlement construction in the occupied West Bank. Dow's down 110. This is ABC News. An American pilot who set out on a solo flight and fundraising mission remains detained in Antarctica. ABC's Michelle Franson says the same young man made headlines last year when he tried to become the youngest person to fly solo to all 7 continents.
American influencer Ethan Guo says he's been held in the Chilean territory of Antarctica since June. Authorities accuse the 20-year-old of landing his small plane illegally after providing false flight plan information to officials who opened an investigation. Guo says he received permission to fly to the base after reporting engine trouble.
This whole situation would have been resolved significantly sooner if all the evidence was allowed to be presented and considered.
Guo's attorney says the Chilean government won't allow him to fly his plane off the base. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
6 planets hanging out in the sky this month. It's what's known as a planetary parade. Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury visible to the naked eye. You need binoculars to see Uranus and Neptune. This is ABC News.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by